Guys thought you were done with me, didn't you? Missed a month. Missed a month of podcast. You said, that's it. This is the moment. She is done with YouTube. Wrongo. Actually, I moved. If you haven't noticed by the change in background or my Instagram, I mentioned it in my stories, or even on my last podcast in March, I mentioned that me and my husband are moving, and we are here. We are cozy in our new apartment, and I have my own little office. It's got plants and a big window, and as you can tell back here, not yet decorated with yarn. So that's what I'm doing here today. This is kind of like a yarn tour special extra bonus episode where I talk to you guys about what yarn I have in my stash, and it's really just an excuse to make content while I decorate my new office with yarn. So I hope you guys enjoy and sit back and just put it on in the background or intently listen and watch. Do whatever you want. I hope you enjoy it regardless. And yeah, so real quick, I will break down kind of how the episode is going to go. First of all, I never said my name. For any of you who are new, my name is Amanda, and I am the person behind the Crafting Sparrow podcast. Well, recently changed it to not so much a podcast. Not that anybody probably cares, but it's more of like a show and tell thing where I show you guys what I've been working on in my crafting endeavors, and it's usually knitting. Sometimes it's crochet or sewing or cross stitch or who knows what else in the future. But like I said, today is not my monthly podcast. I will be doing one of those for May. But I figured I would do this first so that when I do record that podcast, my beautiful yarn will be decorated on my shelf, which is behind my head. So how this is gonna kind of go is there's going to be two parts to it. The first is literally taking yarn from out of these bins that I shoved all my yarn into when we moved, and talking about them and going over things like where I bought them from, some memories that are associated with them if there are any, and what the fiber content is / the colorways if there is a colorway listed, and what are my plans with it, if I have any. Some of these I don't have plans for. So it will be just kind of like a rundown of what kind of things I have in my stash. I know I kind of did something like this at the end of one of my podcasts when I was gifted a bunch of yarn, but this will be an all-inclusive yarn tour for the things that I haven't broken down and talked about before. So yes, that will be part one, and then part two will just be a probably fast forwarded little montage of me putting it into the shelves, and I'll get a better angle of it, and it'll be all set up and pretty for you guys to just watch. A little quick organization. It'll probably have some music over it. I don't know. I haven't really thought about editing yet, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started in our little yarn tour. Okay, so first bin I think that I'm going to do is the one I just showed you, this big woven basket. Actually, not all of this is yarn skeins. The bottom of it actually contains some languished finished objects and a work in progress. Yes, there's a work in progress down there too. So it's still pretty full with yarn though. So I'm just gonna grab the first thing on top and set it right here on the desk out of you guys' view. And yeah, the first thing that I'm gonna grab is this beautiful hand-dyed skein from River of the Knitter's Homestead. This was a skein that I got from her holiday advent calendar for 2022. It was the 100 gram skein at the end of the advent on Christmas Day that we got to open. So it is called Under the Mistletoe. Super cute. I guess I'll make socks out of them. Honestly, I will likely make socks out of them. If you've been here a while, you probably know that I'm not a huge sock knitter. I do like the idea of knitting them, but I just never wear them really. So maybe socks, probably socks. But I definitely want to wait until Christmas time to make something with them because they're Christmas. It's Christmas yarn. So that's why this has not been used yet. It is 80% blue-faced Leicester and 20% nylon. It is a 2-ply yarn. Fingering weight, I believe. 100 grams. There's that. And I'm going to kind of separate these hand-dyed yarns and like commercial yarns. So this will go in the hand-dyed section. I'm going to throw it on the floor over here. Okay. The next hand-dyed, I have all my Kelsey from Knitting to Copy yarn together, so we're just going to go on a Kelsey parade here real quick. This is my next one. This is from her Mythical Creatures Yarn Club from, I don't remember which month it was, but it was 2022. And it is 100% non-superwash merino wool, fingering weight. And the colorway is Nicodranas, which is a reference to Critical Role. I had to get this yarn because I play Critical Role and my character is a water genasi. So the mythical creature for this colorway was merfolk, which I know it's not exactly water genasi, but it would just, I knew it was going to be right up my character's alley, so I had to buy it, and I'm glad I did. It's really pretty. Again, I don't know what I'm making with this. It's kind of just been one of those shelf ornaments for me because it's so beautiful. So that is my first Kelsey yarn today. The next one is a more recent one. This year she started a club called the Fictional Worlds Club, and the first one was the Shire from the Tolkien universe, Lord of the Rings or Hobbit or any of those. It's a location in that world. I'm sure you've heard of it probably. It's pretty well known, Lord of the Rings. It is a 100% non-superwash merino wool, fingering weight, and yeah, another Kelsey yarn. Don't know what I'm making with this either, but I love it. It's not as beautifully wound up as when it originally came because I'm not good at rehanking my yarn. But yeah, so pretty. I love cool toned colors, if you can't tell already. And I think this is the last one that I have I haven't used yet from Kelsey. This one I actually won in a giveaway from Caitlin of the Cozy Moth Knits, and this was one of the Herbology Club yarns. Again, don't remember which month it was, but it was 2022. And yeah, it's like the colorway is Honeydew. So it does remind me of Honeydew a lot, actually. I don't remember what she dyed this. Oh, dyed with cornflower. There you go. I think that, I know that she does with Herbology, it is, okay, yeah. She does naturally hand dyeing, or natural dyeing, and the Shire one is dyed with marigolds and Kutch. I don't know what Kutch is, but it was dyed with it. And this was dyed with cornflower. And if you're wondering, this one is dyed with marigolds and indigo. I'm always so amazed by how many colors she can get out of naturally dyeing stuff. Like, those are beautiful. This is my favorite skein, if you can't tell. I just like looking at it. So yeah, I don't have plans with this either. But I have mentioned before that those three colors together, something about them makes me really happy. This one is an outlier for sure, but I just feel like these could go together. I still feel like these could go together on something, but I don't know what. So maybe that they'll be like a one project together with three special skeins. I don't know. I think that they're all, I think actually this is, no, fingering, and yeah, they're all fingering weight, so they would work really well actually. I don't know. I'll still think about it. So, yep, those are my Kelsey yarns. And this is another really special skein. This is the Copper Corgi. It's a fiber studio of coastal Florida. And I got this from a yarn store in Gatlinburg, North Carolina. Oh wait, no, it's Tennessee. Yeah, it's Gatlinburg, Tennessee. In the Great Smoky Mountains, there's a town up there called Gatlinburg. And there's a yarn shop up there called the Smoky Mountain Spinnery. And I'll show you next the other yarn I got from that same shop. But I wanted something really memorable from there, and this is a specially dyed skein that this dyer makes for that spinnery. It's called Savannah Sock. It is a sock yarn, although it's only 100%. It's 100% superwash merino. I know that it's a bit of a controversy whether or not you should make socks without nylon in it because they maybe won't last as long. I don't know, but it is a sock yarn apparently. I think something about the high twist of it makes it more stable or something. I'm not really sure, but this colorway was Autumn Changes. It's from the Smoky Mountain collection, exclusively for the Smoky Mountain Spinnery, and it is beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. Maybe socks. I actually thought about making one of the I think it's the Penelope bandana. I don't remember the name of it, but it's one of those like small triangle pieces with the I cords at the end that you can tie over in your hair. I thought about making that with this as well because, like I said, I like the idea of socks, but I don't really wear them, so I don't want to like just make something with this beautiful yarn and then never get to appreciate it. I don't know. It's a constant conflict with my crafty self. One skeins are perfect for yarn or for sock, but I just never feel like they'll truly get appreciated if they turn into socks. Anyway, yeah, so maybe a kerchief / bandana. I just love it. So obviously very fond memories with that because it's from my Smoky Mountain trip with my husband. This was the other yarn that I bought from there. And this is a sweaters quantity. So I got 2 colors. I got 3 skeins of this color, which is the colorway. I don't know. It just says color 2, so. But it is from Juniper Moon Farm. It is a single ply, 40% alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk. It's a very creamy color. 100 grams and 197 yards. I haven't mentioned yardage on the other ones, but I did say they're finger and weight, so. Yeah, so I got 3 skeins of this. And the other one I got 2 skeins of this colorway, which is color number 73. It's kind of dark in here because it's rainy outside, but this is like a dark brown. It's not black. I love these 2 colors together. And this is kind of like heathery almost. It has like a heathery gray to it. Like it's mostly brown, but there's like little flecks of gray roved into or spun into it, maybe. And it's very pretty. But what I was going to do with all of these is self-draft a cardigan with mosaic knitting. It's gonna be really pretty, but I have issues with motivation on making my own patterns, so it just never happened. So I'm starting to lean into the thought of just finding a pattern with this, but it's hot now, so I will probably wait till fall time to use these, but I really am excited to use them though. I haven't used single ply very often, and I think it's very, very soft. I know it's probably more prone to pilling. Am I right in assuming that? But that's okay. If you haven't noticed, the sweater I'm wearing now is, well, you can't really see it that much, but it is pilled out the wazoo. people say that still. I don't know. I don't know how I even know that phrase. Anyway, yeah, so these are very precious to me as well, since they were from the cabin trip with my husband in the Great Smoky Mountains. So, yes, I love these. Not technically, I guess, would you consider these hand-dyed yarns? They're not commercial yarn, so I will put them with hand-dyed yarns. Okay. What else is in here? So, we've got this, which it's a partially used skein of yarn from 2020, I think, or 2019. I can't remember. It was from another cabin trip that my husband and I went on. This one was in, where did we go? Candler? Yeah, Candler, North Carolina. There was a shop there called Knitter's Niche. Or was that the second? I can't remember. That was so long ago. It's either the Knitter's Niche or Fiber Friend Works. I think it was Fiber Friend Works. That sounds more correct. Yes, that sounds more correct. Knitter's Niche was from another year, which I will show you. I will not show the yarn for that because I already made it into a sweater. I used that yarn to make my Lume pullover, and that is like my favorite colorwork sweater that I've ever made. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. This was from Friendly Fiber Works in Candler, North Carolina. Cute little yarn shop up there. And this was, I don't remember, the tag is gone forever. Sorry, it's like a dark brown fingering weight, two ply. And I think the colorway was like Java or something like that. 100% superwash merino wool. I know that much. I used some of it for my Nordiska, I think that's how you pronounce it, from Caitlin Hunter. I used some of this and some other colors. This was just like a very small amount used for an accent color, so there's lots here left. I think I actually even made a beanie held double with some of this yarn too. I think I bought 2 skeins of this, and this is what's left. I don't know how much of this is left, like as far as like grams or yards or whatever, but it could definitely still be used as like another accent color for something. It's really good yarn. It's very soft. So technically hand dyed. So sorry I can't remember whoever dyed it, but it's beautiful. I feel like it was Seven Sisters or something like that was the dyer. I can't remember. Don't count. Don't. What's the phrase? Don't quote me on that. There you go. That's it. I got there. Okay, we'll take these 2 out. This is some of the yarn that I got gifted. So if you've seen that part of my old podcast ramble, then here it is again. I actually donated a lot of yarn recently before I moved, and so this one stayed though. This one I kept because I'm a sucker for blues and greens, if you can't tell, and it is worsted weight. There's 2 whole skeins of it, and I feel like I could definitely make something like a scarf or a hat. It's probably it's way too much for a hat, but, or maybe even like a shawl. I don't know. I can make something with this. It is, the person that gifted it to me, they must have bought it at like some kind of fiber fair or something, maybe. I don't know, but it's very, very old yarn. It's called Weaver's Wool Quarters. I don't know if that is the dyer or what, but it's 100% worsted wool. 350 yards. The color is sagebrush. So yeah. I love them, so I'm going to keep them. Hand dyed. You can tell that that's hand dyed. Let's see. Let's do these. I have some drops air left over from my, what did I make with this? Oh, it was I'm doing all this off memory, so bear with my moments of looking into the distance and pondering, trying to remember. This was my Koyame pullover, my second Koyame. Wait. No, this was my first Koyame book ever. My second one was gifted to my mother-in-law. Anyway, this was from my first one from Joanna Lang, I think is her name. Love that pattern. Anyway, so I had 2 skeins left over. I actually think I have more than this, but it's not full skein. It's balled up in my scrap box, which I will talk about after, at the end of my, it's the last thing I'll go through. Anyway, Drops Air. It's the colorway. Excuse me. Does it not have a colorway? Oh, color 34. It's like a mauve / rose gold color. I think the camera's pulling it pretty well. It's not like a bright color. It's very muted. I like Drops Air. I had their like sagey color before, and I made a cardigan out of it, and I still wear both of those things pretty often because Drops Air is very like flowy. There's a lot of, well, it's called Drops Air for a reason. There's a lot of air blown into it. It's a blown yarn. And so even on like a warmer spring day, if I have something that I just want to just like cover up more with, I can use whatever garment was made out of this and not get like sweaty and stuff. It's just a really good yarn in my opinion. I will always be a fan, I think. But I don't like to use it for everything, just kind of like a special thing. But this is commercial yarn, so it is going to go in a different pile. I will throw it over here. I think that the rest of these are actually commercial yarn. There's gonna be a lot of knit picks because I like knit picks. That's like my go-to commercial yarn. This is their kind of recently, their kind of new yarn base called Heatherly. It's advertised as like a baby yarn, and I bought it to make a baby blanket for my sister's second kid that she had. This is the colorway Cabana. It is a worsted weight yarn, so it's 100 grams, 328 yards. And it's just really pretty. Cabana is a good name for it because it reminds me of like a Caribbean blue. Reminds me of the beach a little bit. So I made like a train looking blanket for her son. So yeah, I am planning on making something else for him out of this, and I don't know what yet. I could make, I mean, baby clothes. He's going on 1 year old in October? No, September, end of September. I'm bad about birthdays. Yeah, so maybe I'll make him something for his first birthday out of this. Some cute baby stuff that you can make out there. So, but that is commercial yarn. This is some more of the gifted yarn that I got. This is Cascade. Oh, this tag is confusing looking. Pastaza? I know it's probably backwards for you guys, and the glaring is bad. But that says Pastaza. Color number 73, and I've got 2 skeins of color number... Oh, it has a... It's Pastaza Rainier Heather and Pastaza Ruby. It's worsted weight, single ply. I figured I could use these to make like a shawl or something. I may not keep it for myself, but maybe like a gift or something, because not really my colors, but I think, sorry, I've got to get used to having upstairs, next door, and below neighbors in an apartment. They just turned their water on and just scared me. So yeah, I think it'll be fun to work with, but I don't know if it'll be something I keep for myself. But yeah, I wanted to keep this yarn instead of donating it because it is really nice. It's, I think it's alpaca. I didn't mention that yet. I just broke that label. 50% llama and 50% wool. So it's not alpaca, it's llama. And I've never used llama before, so it should be interesting. That label is coming off. It's gonna irritate me. No worries. Slightly freaking out. Okay, so here's some more nitpicks. I had 2 skeins left over from when I did my it's from Skein to Work. This is my full color work cardigan that I did that was steeked and everything. How do I not remember the name of that? That was like a life accomplishment for me. Full coverage color work and steek. Nope, that one's gone. That one is out of my head. I will never to be seen unless I check my notes, which I don't feel like doing. So, yes, I made a cardigan out of Knit Picks palette. And this is one of the colors. And I had extra, so here they are. Knit Picks palette is my workhorse, like, go-to fingering weight wool yarn. I am 100% going to be buying a sweater's quantity worth this winter/fall to make a sweater out of it. So I don't know what I'm doing yet, but that's like something I definitely want to do. I think I'm gonna hold it double too. Yeah, this is the colorway Turmeric. It's really pretty yellow. So I figured I could make like a hat, or like a Musselburgh would be really pretty in this, or mittens. I'll probably make a Musselburgh hat out of this, or I could save it. I have a lot of this stuff, like not full skeins, a lot of Knit Picks palette, like in my scraps, that maybe I'll make like a fingering weight scrappy blanket out of them or something. I've consciously put them aside and not use them for scrappy projects because I've been thinking about doing this like only Knit Picks palette scrappy blanket because I get so much of it, I guess. I just have accumulated a lot of different colors. So yeah, that's probably what this will end up going into, if not a Musselburgh hat. These are claimed already. This is to finish my mom's cardigan that I'm making right now. If you are curious as to what they're being used for, you can go on my last show and tell episode for March. The pattern is called... It's a cardigan. I can't remember what it's called. Wait, I have my notes right here. I just have to flip one page over. Cabin Life Cardigan by Joji Locatelli. That's what I'm making my mom. And I will have an update on that for May's show and tell episode, so keep an eye out for that. But this is Knit Picks Twill. It's a worsted weight in the colorway Graphite Heather. I have 3 skeins left, and this should be enough to do. All I have left is the neck/button band, and then adding pockets. So this should be enough. These are accounted for already. I have some, or we'll finish the Knit Picks stash first. Oh, those are different. So I have some Knit Picks Stroll left over in the colorway Jackrabbit Heather. I have 2 of these, and also I think I have some just balled up as scraps because they're not a full skein in my scrap bin. I don't know what I'm going to do with these either. Recently I made the Nurture Bralette. I think that's by Naked Knit. Now I feel like I have to check. No, that is not by Naked Knit. That's by Celine Phaeton. There was one I was looking at by Naked Knit. That's why I was thinking it was them. Anyway, so I did make a bralette out of 1 skein of these. So I think it was 1 skein, if not just a little bit more. I think I might actually try to make the Aphrodite bralette out of this. The reason why I'm like dead set on making a bralette with this yarn is because it's very, very nice, like up to skin content, or fiber content. It is 75% fine superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. It is so soft. I love this yarn. It's supposed to be for socks, but I have used it in socks before. I think. Yes. I held it double with mohair. My my socks with sheep on them. I can't remember what they're called. But, yeah, so these will probably be a bralette again. And then I think this is the last knit picks. Well, no, it's not. Never mind. It's almost my last knit picks thing. This is their Wool of the Andes. I got this when they were having one of their special deals. You could get up to no more than 5 of a single color of their Wool of the Andes worsted. And it was like a fraction of the cost as to what it usually is. And it was perfect timing because I wanted to make the chorizo neck by Petite Knit. I think it might be my favorite things knitwear. I get those mixed up all the time. And I got some super light alpaca that held with this. I love those two combos. I really want to make a sweater out of that combination of Wool of the Andes worsted and super light alpaca from, I can't remember what the dyer was, but I got it from, I can't remember the website I got it from either. I'm the worst. Yeah, so anyway, this is about the skein that I had left, and I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. It might just end up going into a scrap project, a worsted weight scrap project, to be honest. But it's the colorway Bramble Heather. It's really pretty heather brown. It's like true brown in my eyes. I don't know. I like it a lot. Okay. We've got some Knitting for Olive leftovers. We'll do this one first. This is their cotton merino. I bought a couple skeins for the camisole number 5, the 2x2 ribbed one that comes in like a deep cut right here. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah, I made that one out of the color Slate, and I don't know what I'm gonna make with this extra ball. I think I have again a balled up scrap as well of this stuff, so I have a little bit over 1 skein. I could make a beanie maybe, or hold a double with a different color maybe. I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's really nice yarn. If it wasn't so expensive and it didn't take so long to get to me, I'd probably buy it more. It's a really nice, breathable, like cotton merino. When I wear that camisole, it's like I don't get sweaty in it, and it's really soft to the skin, and it was really nice to work with too because it is so thin. It's fingering weight, but it's like a really thin fingering weight. I would almost call it lace, to be honest. And because I'm a loose knitter, I have to use my tiny little metal Chiagu interchangeable needles, which I'm not mad about. I love using those needles, and I like smaller needles, so this was actually really nice to knit up with. But if you don't like small needles, probably not that great to work with. So yeah, I'm going to also put this in the commercial stack because it Knitting for Olive is kind of a commercial yarn, in my opinion. A bigger company than, say, like Kelsey or River Kelly. I would put this in the commercial stack. The other Knitting for Olive yarn that I have is the merino, which is another fingering weight, and this is the colorway Marzipan. I bought this for my vest number 8 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. It's the one with I think it's a 6 cable cross, a 6-stitch cable cross, and it's all over. That one had a big dilemma. I'm sure you remember if you've been around for a while. Not because of the yarn, because of my terrible gauging and stuff. Anyway, this yarn's great. I love this yarn. I have enough to make a hat. Maybe I will. I don't know. But whatever I'm going to make, I'm excited because I like this yarn as well. As again, fingering weight, have to use small needles, and it's just enjoyable to work with. Honestly, Knitting for Olive is just a great brand, so anything that you use from them is going to be fun. But yeah, just kind of wait until I feel the inspiration to just knit up a hat. I told you the color, where I got it, what I'm going to make. Yeah, I think we're good on that one. That is it for this bin. There's still stuff in it, but like I said, it's languished finished objects or works in progress that have been put to the side because I don't want to work on them while it's hot. So that basket is done. And we are already 30 minutes in. Oh my gosh. Okay. Actually longer than that because I didn't include the intro in that. Okay, well, we got some stuff to do here. Oh, okay. So this is the other bin. I think that all of this should actually go pretty fast because a lot of this is just one yarn. It's a big sweaters quantity. And I think everything from this bin was some of the gifted stuff that I got. So first I'll take one out, try to avoid the crinkling, but I think I'm actually going to use this stuff this summer. It's not really my color, but I might try and venture out and use it regardless, and like for myself. But this is a bamboo blend. The colorway is Berry Frappe, which is actually a really cute name for this. It is naturallykaren.com, a silky soft bamboo blend spa. I don't know how old this yarn is, but I'm assuming it's a bit older considering it was from that person that gifted it to me. It's 75% micro denier acrylic, 25% rayon from bamboo. It is 85 grams for 251 yards. And I think that is chain construct. I don't know what kind of construction that is. You guys definitely won't be able to tell because I'm not zooming in the camera on it, but I think it's either chain or no, it's plied. Yeah, it is plied. It looks 4-plied. Does it say it? It says 12-ply cable. What is 12-ply? I've never even heard of that before. Okay. It should be interesting. I've got 4 untouched skeins in a ball, which I'm assuming is a whole skein. I don't know, actually. I haven't weighed it. So maybe I'll make like a summer shirt, a summer tee out of it, maybe? I have a whole bunch of it. I should have probably done this for spring because this is very like Easter, but oh well. I'm gonna put that in the commercial pile. Then we have these yarns. I really should just not put them back in these plastic bags, but these are all the same brand. It's called Stitch Nation by Debbie Stoller, Full O Sheep, 100% Peruvian wool. Again, this was some of the gifted stuff, and I picked these 3 out because I think they would make a really cute, like a bright winter colorwork hat or scarf or some kind of accessory. Maybe mittens, I don't know. But it is a single ply yarn, and yeah, I like them together. Something about the red and yellow just make me really happy, so this will be something for the winter time. I have these 2 skeins that I grabbed when I was gifted yarn. They're black, as you can tell. You can't really see them very easily. Louisa, is it Herding or Harding? I can't tell. Grace Silk and Wool. And that tells you what it is. It's 50% merino wool, 50% silk. They're pretty small skeins. They are 50-gram balls, 110 yards. But I feel like I could definitely make a pair of mittens or a hat out of this. I don't know. But they feel really nice. Single ply, again. A lot of the yarn that I got from the guy that gifted me stuff was single ply, if you can't tell already. Which is nice because, like I said, I hadn't really used single ply that often, so it was kind of like a nice, like, adventure. It's a knitting adventure, trying out different fibers and different plies and stuff. So, yeah, excited about this one too. I actually almost made my husband's mittens out of those when he requested them, but I ended up using Knit Picks palette. Okay, so I think, yeah. So I have a leftover skein of this green, and actually almost 2 whole skeins I used this for a project recently that I'll talk about in my next show and tell episode. But this was this yarn actually. This was the yarn I used to make my field day cardigan that I'm wearing today. It's Patton's Classic Wool Merino. This was more the gifted yarn. It's 100% merino wool, non-superwash. And it is 223 yards for 100 grams worsted weight. The colorway is, I think it was bottle green. Yeah, bottle green. Yeah, these were just leftover skeins that I had from making my cardigan. And I have that same yarn in a different colorway, and that is what the rest of this bin is. So that bin was quick. I don't know what I'm making with this yet. This is the colorway Leaf Green. Definitely a sweater's quantity, probably more than a sweater's quantity. I think I have like 8 or 9 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I have 9 of those, so definitely enough to make a sweater. I am going to make probably like a textured sweater this winter with this stuff. I was looking at something that reminds me of the Ingrid sweater. I don't know if I want to do that sweater. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes out this winter for textured sweaters. So if you have any that you know of, let me know down in the comments. Because I don't know yet. But I'm excited because I like this color. Yeah, so that's all that's in there. Actually, there is one other of the same brand, but there's like a bright red. I just grabbed it just in case I want to make something Christmassy, I don't know. But it's more of Patton's Classic Wool. So yeah, that is all of that. I'm just going to leave this. Well, that's not everything that's in this bin. Also, what is in this bin is, let me get all this out of here. What is on the bottom of this is my beekeeper's quilt hexagons. So that's where those will stay. I am making a mess of my clean office. So the last thing that we have here is my scrap bin. And so most of the stuff I'm not going to go through because, as I said, it's scraps and I don't know what most of it is. And they are going to stay in that bin, so they're not being organized or anything. This is a big boy. But there is some stuff on top of it that I threw in that couldn't fit into the bins that I just showed you when I moved. So there is some stuff on top that I can show you guys. This is just that stuff I just showed you. I showed you something like that. We'll do these first. These are cakes. They're the caked gradient color version of Knit Pick Stroll. Fingering weight. The colorway is Hollow Greens Gradient. I bought 3 of these to make my grandma the A Flutter poncho a while back, and I was scared I wasn't gonna have enough, so my mom ordered 3 more for me just in case, and I ended up not needing to use them. So I have 3 cakes of these, and they're really pretty, and I don't know what to make with them, but they do remind me of my grandma, so they make me really happy. Maybe a blanket. This could make a really pretty blanket, just like a garter blanket. I might do that. I might do that actually. So yeah, those 3. I didn't tell you, it is a nylon blend. It's like the other Stroll, 75% super wash merino wool and 25% nylon. Fingering weight. I think that the last thing that's in here are these, and I mean I have this, but this was just leftover yarn from my Bruin scarf that I made my friend. It's yarn from Hobby Lobby, Yarn Bee. They're mighty soft stitch. Sorry, the black. I bought 2 skeins and I barely used any of the black in it, which was the color stripe I used when they lost. So I guess that's a good sign. And then I have this much left of the winning color, which is their color. It's like a gold color. I don't remember what the name of it was, but yeah, so that's that. But then the rest of it is this Lamb's Pride yarn. I have 4 skeins of this left. It's a single ply, I think it's bulky weight. Yeah. Bulky weight, 100%, 85% wool and 15% mohair. I am currently making something with these actually, and I think you guys saw it in one of my show and tell episodes before. I don't remember which one. It wasn't too long ago. I started a chevron colorwork top-down yoke sweater, but it was way too heavy and way too hot for me to work on now, so I put it aside. It's one of the things in my basket that I did first. So these are accounted for. These 4 are accounted for. There you go. You can turn me off now. I understand. That was terrible. Yeah, so these are what I have left for that. So yeah. I think that's it. I have in my knitting bag over there, it's kind of blurry, you can't see, it's hanging on my chair, some yarn that I'm still using for my current project that I'm working on. It's a new Arezzo from Hobby. It's like a linen, I'll just go get it. It's technically stash, right? It's the new Arezzo. It is 33% linen, 47% bamboo, and 20% cotton. It's really, really nice yarn to work with. I'm really enjoying it. I have 3 skeins of it left. I'm sorry, I have 2 skeins of it left. Oh, I thought I had 3. Which should be enough to finish the cardigan I'm making. It's the Kettle River cardigan by Winter's Weather Knits. I have basically the whole thing done except for I'm finishing out the skein I'm on now to do the body, and then I have the button band. Is that right? Yes. So that should be plenty enough. This goes a long way. So, and that is all my stash. So from here, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to organize them into the shelf back here. And there's going to be a cut, and I'm going to try and reposition the camera to be a little bit more aesthetic for you guys to look at. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy watching me quickly put all this stuff in the decorative cubbies. Like I said, maybe I didn't say, this bottom cubby is going to be for my commercial yarns, and this top one up here, you can't see all of it right now, but that's where my hand-dyed yarns are going to be. And looking at my stash of commercial, I really hope that they fit. Hand-dyed yarn, not a problem. There's not really that much. Your girl's broke. I can't afford that much hand-dyed yarn, so I hope it fits. We'll see. So for now, that is it for this portion, and we will cut to the next. Not too bad. I don't necessarily like how the commercial section is just crammed in there, but there's not that many pretty hanks to show like the hand-dyed yarn skeins. And I also tried to keep the yarns that I know I'm going to use sooner closer to the front. So I got the skeins that I'm going to use to finish my mom's cardigan. These I'm going to use for a summer top. Yeah, that's pretty much like the only ones I know I'm going to use soon for the commercial yarns. So those I kind of put up to the front, and it should do fine. It's not exactly like those really pretty background yarn walls that some people have when they have like a whole cubby, like cabinet full, but it's me. This is my collection. Of course, you know, there's also this full of scrap yarn, but I don't know where I'm going to put this yet. Probably next to my desk, so it's just like really easy to grab for. And then something also that I've decorated before this video was all the books down here are crafty books like knitting stitch guides, crochet stitch guides, embroidery guides, things like that I've collected over the years, as well as just like knick-knack stuff that I have. Stefan has got a spot here. Also something really cool. So this piece of furniture used to be in my laundry room, and it had like laundry detergent and like baskets to put dirty laundry in and stuff, which is why I have this like contact paper. I don't know if you noticed before I put yarn in there, there's contact paper on there because there's detergent soap stain on there and I didn't want to get it on my yarn. So but anyway, one side of this is a cork board, which I have put my swatches on, and some other like little things I've collected, like the paper that comes with Kelsey's Herbology Club, the label for River Kelly's yarn because it's cute little bees, I love it, and some other stuff. There's actually put fairy lights up here. Isn't it cute? So some days I might have that showing, some days I might have the yarn cubby showing, or maybe both. That's actually kind of cute. Having a little sneak peek. Also, if you're a Zelda fan, you might have noticed. Yeah, haha. You found them. I made 2 little Koroks. I love them. So obviously I had to show them on my yarn thing too. So, and you can't see it, but the very bottom cabinet has my thrifted sewing basket. I don't know if it's going to stay here because I actually have a separate table on that wall over there that my sewing machine will live at without having to move it. It will permanently be on the table, which is fantastic. So it might go over there, but I don't know. There's another cubby that you can see that's not being used, and that might actually be for my basket here. I think it might be able to fit. So my Hexapuff quilt pieces can be properly stored. It fits, you guys. Not bad. Here, rotate it. So we got a handle showing. I like it. I think that might be how I have things situated. I like it. So yeah. There's also a mirror if you want to see my setup, my camera. There you guys are. I swear this is a funhouse camera because it is very wonky. And there's also a hook for like, because it's getting hot in here, I could put my cardigans on it. Ta-da! It's a really cool piece of furniture. My mom bought it for me like forever ago. And it's come in handy for a lot of different reasons. But yeah. So yeah, that is the end of my yarn tour / organization. You can see it's all pretty now back there. I love it. Thank you so much for sticking around if you've stuck around this far. Yeah, it was really fun to do, and hi Ashley. You come to say goodbye? Come here. Anyway, thanks for sticking around, and if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm hoping to get the May show and tell episode up soon as well. Obviously, I'm going to record it in the month of May, whether that is tomorrow or next week or whatever, we will see. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that, and I also have an Instagram. It is the Crafting Sparrow with underscores between the words. Go check me out over there if you are interested. I have been sort of on a hiatus for that because I've been so busy moving, but I really want to get back into taking photos over there. So yeah, at this point I am rambling this outro. So I will catch you guys next time. Take care and happy crafting. Bye.